Hey guys, this is Quinn, that snazzy iPhone guy, and I'm sorry I haven't been making a ton of videos lately. Get in on that giveaway if you haven't already. I didn't really clearly state an ending date, but it was a month from the video date, so August 7th is the day that giveaway will end. I'm only at like 300 entries, so that's a 1 in 3 chance that you'll win. Really good, and you should definitely get in on that. Now, just a few things before we get started. I have an application review for you today. It's $6.99 in the App Store. It's not one of the cheapest apps, but I think it's one of the highest quality apps that there is out there for this particular category. And the category is music. The application is called ThumbJam, and it's from a company called Sonosaurus. This was an application that was sent to me for review. However, I would buy it again and again. It is just incredible as an actual application. So before we get into that, two things. Unlimited case is coming along well. I'm getting a lot of questions lately. When is it going to come up? When is it going to be here? Soon. And that's all I'm going to tell you. I'm trying as hard as I can to get it up as quickly as possible. And then I've also started working on a startup company. It is a very unique, very cool service that I don't believe anyone else has ever tried or attempted before. I'm working on it with another great guy, Forest Lab, good dude, and he's developing. I'm doing the kind of social aspect of it, but it's going to be a very, very cool thing. I can't really explain to you what it's about right now because it's still under wraps. We want to get our hands on it and get a public beta out before we tell you what it's about, because we don't want anyone stealing our brilliant idea. So I'll let you know more about that as it comes along. We have a wicked sweet name, 2 domain names, .us for a little quick tweeting, and then see, there's a hint, and .com for the main site. But enough of that. Let's get into ThumbJam. So as I stated, it's $6.99 in the App Store. It has, let me turn these lights off. It has been updated for iOS 4. However, there aren't iPhone 4 quality icons. The icons are very lacking, but you know, what can you do? Oh, actually they could make it better, but so that's $6.99 in the App Store. So I use this application all the time. In fact, it's one of my most used applications. It's not because I'm a great magician. It's not because I do this or that better than anyone else, but it's simply because I think it's an excellent way of creating and jamming music. It's not like I'm going to go record this. It's not like I'm going to, well, I am recording it, but it's not like I'm going to go put it in a studio. It's just a fun little toy, and it can kind of give you an idea of how to build a real song. So here it is. It's a very, very basic interface. Obviously, you don't actually need to know how to play the instruments in order to play ThumbJam. So, for example, I have an electric guitar selected. Okay, you can do multi-touch. Okay, you can do 3, 4, 5. And by then it gets pretty dissonant sounding, but you also have the ability of selecting which way you want it to go out. So let me just create kind of a little ditty here. I'm just gonna improv. It may sound horrible, but I'm just gonna find, let's see, what do I want? Let me first change the key. So I can change the scale, and let's make it minor. There's tons of them. And not even stuff you would recognize. Like, there's Asian stuff where there's weird quarter notes, and you know, it's insane. There are so many keys, so many different chord sets to choose from, but the most common, obviously, continuous, chromatic, major, minor. Harmonic minor is a little unusual, but you see it. Major pentatonic, absolutely. Whole tone, major blues, minor blues, and then rock and roll, which is what I was playing, and that's kind of a mix of major and major pentatonic. So I'm going to select minor. You can kind of play or sound or feel, wow, okay, I can talk. You can choose what it's going to sound like or hear. And minor. And then Asian ones are weird. Minor hexatonic is actually really cool. Anyway, so I'm going to go to minor. I will select my instrument I would like, and let's get a bass going. Not like a physical bass, but a kind of a bass for our song. I'm not going to obviously start the song by choosing the melody, so let's try with the background. An excellent instrument for this would be the cello. Let's find that. Okay, so now we have our cello. We are in the minor key, and we also have the ability to span the keyboard. So you can say, okay, put the notes really close together. You can tell them to put them really close together. Not very practical, especially for an instrument's range. And then this is good. This is what I want right here. The octave is good. You can choose to sustain it, which always, I mean, already kind of happens with the cello, but I mean with the piano, absolutely. You can change the key tone from right here. So I could do, right now I'm in minor D, but I could change it to minor E. Okay, and then you can change whether the notes are all blended together or whether they're rigid. Much more practical for music. Okay, now I'm going to hide that. And oh, P.S. this does have multitasking enabled, so at any time you can jump back in there and you go to the exact same spot you were. Very handy if you have to take a phone call or send a text message, all that good stuff. Alright, so we've got our instrument, we've got our key, we've got the range we want. There's a bunch of cool stuff that I haven't even tried, like Wi-Fi song transfers. You can jam with another person, remote control, all these weird, crazy stuff. But this is what I've done, and let's just try, because this is a very easy key. I'm taking the easy way out. I'm going to try and create something that sounds pretty cool. So as you can see, I can doodle on this right here, but if I choose to loop it, I can either record the whole session, which I don't recommend. I mean, that records exactly what you're playing. So although it may be cool in the end, to get a basic loop going, that's not practical. So we'll record the loop, and the loop will start right when we touch a key. So the camera is kind of in the way, and let me zoom out a little so you can kind of see if I move around a little. There's a few controls that I want to talk about. There's a volume tilt, so that's this vertical tilt. If I tilt it up, it's much louder, and if I tilt it downwards, it's much more quiet, pianissimo style. You can pan the actual instrument, which doesn't do too much on the cello, but on a lot of other instruments, guitar especially, it does pretty crazy. And then you can create a vibrato or a tremolo by shaking the actual, and that's kind of like the like this. Okay, now I'm going to cancel that recording because I don't want that, but I will record, and let's just try something. So that was kind of rough. Sorry. I would have hoped to have those further apart, so we can delete it and then try again. That was too slow, I can already feel it, so we'll try one more time. Dear me. Okay, sorry guys. I will get this. It's just too close together. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to take the key control and I'm going to span it a little bit. That way. Okay, that's a little better. Then you can either leave that there, it works fine, or you can choose to hide it, which I'm going to do. And we're going to record our loop now. Sorry. Why did I don't know why that happened. That's weird. Okay. bad. I kind of am looking for this. So that was better. Well, let's try that. Okay, so that's my basic loop. That's what I want. You can change instruments and add it on top of that loop. You can pause them and then play the loop at any time. So let's just keep it going. I'll turn it down a little so you can hear me. We'll change the instrument to... let's get a piano in here. This will be the second instrument. I'll only do 3 just for time's sake. And where did it go? Is it on our grand piano? There we go. So let's automatically kind of span those keys a little. Let's take that up a little. That's good. So let's take the span to there. Okay, so we've got that. And one thing that is pretty helpful is you can see all the notes here on the side and all the chords. However, oh, by the way, how they're denoted is they're all organized by the scale, so you never can play the wrong note. However, it's the number and then the octave of which it is from left to right. So this would be the G in the 4th octave, this is D in the 3rd octave, and all of these notes, not a single one of them sounds bad, and that's the good thing about ThumbJam is you can't play horribly because all of these are organized by scale and there's no physical way for you to play something wrong. Okay, so we'll hide the key controls and we'll try recording another loop. So it's a little rough, it's a little sketchy. What I would do if I was trying to do this well was I would delete that and try again, but this is fine. We will get, there's also a mixer, so I mean it's not like you can change, you can say okay the cello's too loud and now the piano's too loud. You'll say what we really want to shine is the violin, and that's what we'll make our next instrument. So we're going to change the octave. We're going to span it out a little. Okay, so now we're going to, I want to hide this. That's just kind of my OCD at work. And then, you know, what we can do now, since this is the melody, you're not going to build on top of this. So I'm just going to record, I'm not going to record the loop because I don't need to loop over. This is my time to freestyle, to have fun. I have the bass of my song. So what I could do would to be record my session, and then you can actually export that to your computer once you're done, but since I'm not doing that, I'll just mess around right here and kind of doodle around on it and let me know how it sounds. So you guys get kind of how it works. You know, there were a few parts of that sounded kind of dissonant, that didn't sound quite right, but it didn't sound bad, and that's because you can't play it wrong. And that's the cool thing about ThumbJam, is so many instruments, so many other things require you to play everything correctly. And this, you can kind of just do whatever you want. Now obviously, that's not realistic for a violin, but down here, absolutely. And especially with the vibrato, it gives you that real kind of instrument sound. And that's one thing I feel that ThumbJam does better than everything else, is more of their instruments sound like real instruments. It doesn't sound like a freaking iPhone app that you're playing the piano on. The piano, I don't know what's so hard about the piano, but no one can really get the piano right. ThumbJam's piano isn't excellent. Sorry, that was not attractive. But I feel that the actual... what shall I say? I feel like the actual string instrument family is better than any other application I've ever tried, and better than a lot of music creation studios on the computer. So for electronic music, this is pretty cool, and I'm really impressed by ThumbJam. It isn't the cheapest application out there, but it's certainly not expensive. $7, you get a solid music application, and that's something that you won't find anywhere else. Sure, there's the $5 drum loop application, but that's not real music. This is, and this gives you the ability and the versatility to create real music, not something that is gimmicky and you play in a game. So that's why I love ThumbJam from Sonosaurus. I thank them for sending me a copy for review. Obviously, you guys know that even though things get sent for review, that doesn't make me biased in any way. I would pay $7 for this. It's not perfect, but it is the best music application out there on the iPhone, in my personal opinion. Do you think you got one better? Let me know in the comments. Thank guys. I give it an 8 out of 10. ThumbJam from Sonosaurus, $6.99 in the App Store. Works on your iPhone and iPod Touch. Thank you so much, and as always, stay snazzy. See you later, folks.